All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Barak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Rakazah, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab number one back at you with another lesson. And just a quick update on the Rice Krispy treat, Mark Walkberg. All right. I have a video from Instagram, which I'm going to play. I ain't going to put it up to the, because I'm driving at the same time, but I put it through my speakers in my car so you could just listen. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me bring it up. Just listen more than anything.
To anonymity on social media. In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy.
And this is the World Economic Forum right now speaking.
A hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without link.
If I could just get a thumbs up so I know that you can hear it, because I don't know if it's too low or if it's too high and distorted. You know, for anybody that jump on, just give me a thumbs up so I know it's good.
Their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation, hate speech, and cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions.
See, when what they're really trying to get to is they're trying to get to the man of the Lord. All right. Don't let them fool you with all this talk about, yeah, you know, there's bots and, you know, we have to track down certain people and all that. What they're really trying to do is just track down the men of the Lord, because the only ones that are speaking against this society, all right, that really matter is Yahweh, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai's people. All right, all these whistleblowers, yeah, they come out with, you know, certain, you know, articles and certain topics, you know, and they, you know, we use them, yeah, absolutely. All right, but at the end of the day, they're not worried about any of them people, man, because none of them people are of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. See, so what they're really trying to attack, all right, because they deem us as extremists, you know, they're even deeming us as, you know, terrorists. Okay, it goes down to them trying to knock off the internet and basically persecute, all right, the men of the Lord, man, all right, which that great persecution is coming upon us.
Continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity, because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet. This way, citizens could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities will be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold them responsible.
See, and who's the one
because accountability?
And who's the one that got the nicknames? All right. See, they're trying to use nicknames. They want it to be all connected to a certain system that you could have. You know, all these platforms are going to be able to be used, but anybody that has a nickname has to be linked to a system. And who's the one that has nicknames? You see all the brotherhood, the real men of the Lord, all right, which a lot of us ain't on social media, all right, because we try to stay away from social media, but we go on social media because that's where the raw news is at, all right? But when you look, all right, the ones that have, you know, this truth that are on social media, we don't actually put our real information, you see? We'll put, like, you know, Yahweh's Will and Testament, you know, 144. will have, mine is, Zabalawan, reverse fate, you see? But they want to know exactly who that person is so they can persecute them, like they said, because if they commit a crime based on what? Hate speech, okay? Misinformation, medical information, they're going to come for you, you see?
An obstacle to freedom of speech is an essential complement to it.
But many have started paying for things with their phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand. So, the overseas company...
Was that a chip? What? A C-hip in the hand? Okay, is that a cut on all these, these false teachers? Okay, that continually keep telling you that, it's not going to be, actual physical implementation. All right. It's not the RFID. Okay, they're taking it as far. All right, as far as it keeps moving my because I'm driving. Matter of fact, let me just do this. There you go. So basically, it's already letting you know their next move after that digital ID. All right, after the biometrics is going to be the RFID. You see, in plain sight. All right, there's no way around it no more, man. See, if you're not preaching that, all right, it's because you don't have the spirit of prophecy in you, one, and you don't have YAHAWAH'S dealing with you. He just bugged you out, and you're in strong delusion. You see, and you're gonna be destroyed for that. There's a whole lot of blood on your hands for that. All right, but the real men of the Lord, all right, are warning you over and over, man, getting the blood off their hands, letting you know this thing's about to come out. It's about to be presented. Okay. They just made out there in the UK, all right, the digital ID mandatory, and people are not going to be able to work, buy or sell, all right, which that ain't the full MOTB, all right, that's the prequel before it, man, because eventually they're going to give you another solution, you see, because a lot of people don't want to be fucking with the biometrics, but that just makes it easier for them to usher what they really want on their agenda, you see. Oh, shit.
To anonymity on social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet. This way, citizens could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities will be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold them responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it.
But many have started paying for things with their phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand. So, the overseas company Walletmore is selling the microchip in parts of Europe. It's about the size of a grain of rice, goes under the skin, and then activated using a digital wallet app. The chip is going for about $300, and the company says it.
And this is why they've been telling you that Apple has the new digital ID. They have all these different new digital wallets. All right, they're telling you these things in America. See, it's already out there on the other side, man. It's already here. All right, it just hasn't been brought to America and made mandatory. All right, which most of it's gonna come right out of America. All right, once this shit is globally made mandatory, America gonna be dropping them left and right. And they're gonna show you all the different conveniences they have, all the different types of C-hips that they have. Making it seem cool.
200 people have gotten them implanted already. I would have many questions for a doctor about that.
Yeah, how
very micro did it?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's a pretty big chip.
I mean, a paper cut hurts. You're gonna put a thing like that.
In your hand, you have to change banks. You gotta
you gotta change it out.
I don't know. I ain't interested in it.
I just want to know how it affects your body.
Yeah, it can't be good.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how it's going to affect your body for sure. This is Revelations 15. Actually, it might be 16. 1 second. This is Revelations 16. 16:2. And it says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped the image. Okay, so a grievous sore is what's going to happen to those that have it, man. It's going to fall upon their bodies. All right, when you go into that word grievous sore, okay, in the linear, it says the sore goes into helkos, and it says a wound, especially a wound producing a discharge of pus. You see, a sore or an ulcer. Okay, so there's gonna be no hiding it, man. All right, you got people that are walking around with it now. All right, and I'm sure they haven't got a previous sore yet. All right, because the Lord hasn't poured out that vial yet. You see, because remember, there was gonna be some that did it willingly without being forced. Okay, matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. When you go into that word stigma, all right, when it says that is the number of a man and his number 666, right, in Revelation 13 and 18, I'm grabbing it right now. It says, here's wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. Okay, and his number is 666. When you go into that word, right, it goes into Kaizai stigma, right? And that word stigma says, give me 1 second. It says mark pricked in or branded upon the body. You see, showing you as physical. To Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their masters or commander, branded or pricked, cut, it says, in parentheses right after, pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves, okay, in this way with the token of their gods. You see, let's go into that word devotees. All right. Yeah. Devotee, right, is a person who is deeply devoted or dedicated to something or someone, such as a religion, a deity, a hobby, or a person. You see, so you got a bunch of knuckleheads already that got them for a reason. You see, because they don't mind bowing down to their God, okay, bowing down to this society without you being forced. You see, the ones that they're gonna force it on is gonna be most of you damn Israelites, man. You see, these other nations, they're willingly open to take these things, man. But you see, Jacob, you know, they get in that mode like, oh, I ain't fucking with that shit. You see, but that's why they have to come with the laws that they're coming with, the draconian laws, harsh laws to force it upon the people, because it's gonna start an uproar, man. You see, that's why they have to starve you out. That's why they have to, you know, take away your benefits and put you in a predicament where it forces you to actually bow down to their society. You see, but as the scriptures say, all right, Revelations 3 and 10, those that because you have kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Okay, so this is why the prudent man foreseeth the evil, and he hideth himself. He hideth himself with these scriptures. You see, so by you hiding yourself with these scriptures and constantly meditating on YAHAWAH'S, the Lord is going to preserve you. You see, the Lord know how to deliver you from temptations. He know how to deliver you from evil. You see, this is why we need YAHAWAH'S. All right, as the scriptures say, man, if you left it for the elect's sake, all right, he's shortening the days. Because if we have the Lord, all right, there will be no flesh saved, man. You see, leave it up to Esau, we all turn into some damn cyborgs through transhumanism. Okay, this is Matthew 24 and hold on, 22, and it says, and except those days should be shortened. And that's why you see these days flying every day, man. A week passes by so quick in the snap of a finger. Okay, it goes, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. You see, and it's because ultimately, all right, no flesh will be saved because we'd be all cyborgs under Esau's. If the Lord never comes, man, you know, if the Lord doesn't come and intervene, and we hear another 5-10 years, you know, forget about it, man. These damn devils will let their agenda play out, all right, and eventually we will all starve into these devils, all right, because they have the fatness of the earth. They have everything in the power of their hands, man. So all they got to do is just keep it from us. You see, they can feed themselves all damn day, and we can't feed ourselves. You see, but this is why we need YAHAWAH'S to come back as quick as possible. All right, in a speedy riddance, which we shall all be making haste, all right, and praying to the Lord that he come back quickly. All right, and the Lord said that, behold, I come quickly. You know, hold that fast which thou hast, because the Lord knows we got to get up out of here, man. You see? So, hey, that's pretty much the point. All right, I ain't even gonna talk too much on it because, you know, they keep messing with everybody feeds that's bringing it out. But if you've been listening, you catch the drift. All right, it's being put right in your face, man. There's no more trying to hide it and make an excuse of, oh, I don't know what the MOTB is, man. All right, it's there for you to know. They're telling you right in your face. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHAWAH'S, Kol Haloyim La Yahawah, Bahashem YAHAWAH'S, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of YAHAWAH'S. Shalom.